Today we learn to buy a home with the least amount of your own money.
No money down. In fact, the bank will...
But first, a story. Jake had always been a dreamer, and his latest dream was to own a home of his own. At 25 years old, he felt it was the right time to start building a future. Armed with his college education and just a few years into his career, Jake was ready to take the next big step in life. He envisioned a starter home, one that would not only provide him with the independence he craved, but also have the room for his future wife, and who knows, maybe even his first kid. However, as Jake started his research into the housing market, he found himself bombarded with a cacophony of voices on the internet. It seemed like everywhere he looked there were articles and forum posts proclaiming the catastrophic state of the housing market. It was all too easy to get lost in the noise, and Jake felt overwhelmed. One day, as he scrolled through a particularly disheartening article, he came across a comment that caught his eye. It was from someone named Nolan, who spoke with a reassuring tone of reason amidst the internet's fear-mongering. Jake decided to reach out to Nolan. To his surprise, Nolan was quick to respond and invited Jake for a conversation. They met at a local coffee shop where Jake discovered that Nolan was not just a real estate expert, but a friend who truly understood Jake's concerns. Nolan took the time to explain the nuances of the housing market, debunking the fear-mongering myths that had plagued Jake's online research. He showed Jake that with careful planning, a budget, and the right guidance, buying a home was not an insurmountable task. In fact, Nolan was confident that Jake could afford a home this year. Jake felt a wave of relief wash over him. The daunting storm of misinformation that had clouded his vision was clearing, and he could see a clear path to his dream. With Nolan's guidance, Jake learned about various loan options, assistance programs, and the importance of building a strong credit history. Over the next few months, Jake worked closely with Nolan, diligently saving for a down payment and exploring different neighborhoods. He even attended homebuyer education classes to gain more confidence in the process. The internet's fear-mongering voices faded into the background as he focused on his goal. Finally, the day arrived when Jake stood in front of the door of his very first home. It was a modest starter house, but to him it represented the very first chapter in his journey towards building a family and securing his future. He was so grateful for Nolan's wisdom and support, knowing that without it he might never have realized that the dream of home ownership was well within reach. As he turned the key to his new home, Jake knew that he had made the right choice in seeking guidance from Nolan, and that with the careful planning and the right knowledge, he could achieve his dreams and more.
Today we learn to buy a home with the least amount of your own money. Debunk the myth of needing 20% on a down payment for a home, and explore 3 key loan types: FHA, conventional, and VA, with down payments as low as 1%, 3%, and even 0%. We're going to discuss credit score and work history importance, highlight the availability of first-time homebuyer assistance programs, such as those in Michigan, which offer financial incentives and make it possible to buy a home with no money down. Hey there everyone, today I have with me Josh Jardin from Brass Lending. We're going to be showing you how you can stop renting and become a homeowner. Now you might think you need a whopping 20% down to close on your home, but that's just not true. Let us break down some game-changing facts.
So you've decided it's time to buy a home. Many people think that they need a massive 20% down payment in order to secure that new home. But in fact, that's not the case. In fact, there are multiple loan options and assistance programs available to get you started. Let's see how you can buy a house with the least amount of money out of pocket. All right, so regarding a down payment, there's a lot of government programs out there right now, specifically a VA loan and a USDA loan that allow for no money down. In fact, the bank will literally allow you to finance 100% of the purchase price. Programs are designated to provide financial support and help you get over that initial hurdle. What's fascinating is that many cities and counties across the state offer incentives, granting thousands of dollars to those who in fact complete a first-time homebuyer's education class. This money can be used to cover the down payment at closing, effectively reducing your upfront closing cost. With these programs, it's entirely possible to walk into the closing table with minimal out-of-pocket expenses. It's a game-changing opportunity that many first-time homebuyers are in fact not even aware of. Be sure to explore your local options and unlock the potential of a lot of these first-time homebuyers programs. Now let's explore some different types of loans. FHA is a very unique program that is in fact backed by the federal government that allows for a minimum down payment of 3.5%. Now, the unique thing about FHA is it allows for a little bit higher debt-to-income ratio, and in fact, it allows for a little bit lower credit score. It has shortened parameters of what you have with respect to a bankruptcy, a foreclosure, a short sale. The FHA guidelines are actually, in fact, substantially less than what the guidelines would be to get approved for a conventional mortgage. So the unique thing about the VA loan is that this is specifically catered to current active duty service people and retired service people, so veterans. This is hands down the best loan in the market. It allows for no money out of pocket from a down payment perspective, so 100% financing. Also, the big thing is no mortgage insurance.
Which compared to FHA is a big deal.
It's a huge deal, actually. You know, the FHA mortgage insurance could be upwards of a couple $100, where the VA at the same price point could be like $200 to $250 less per month because the VA loan, in fact, does not have mortgage insurance.
Wow, that's pretty significant.
Yeah, it is. It's huge. Yeah.
That's putting a lot of money back in your pocket each month.
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
No question.
Good to know. Very good to know.
Then we have the conventional loan. The neat thing about this loan is, and a very common misnomer, misunderstanding, is that in fact you need 20% down in order to get approved for this conventional loan. In fact, first-time homebuyers, so those that have not owned a home in a period of 3 years or greater, are considered to be first-time homebuyers. I've got two different products. One is a 1% down and a 3% down. As long as you have not owned a home for a period no less than 3 years, you can qualify for the 1% down and also the 3% down program.
That is way less than 20%.
Substantially. That's right, you heard me correctly, as low as 1% down. And guess what? You don't need a perfect credit score. So regarding the down payment program with 1% down, a lot of people think you need a minimum of like a 740 or a 640, 680, something like that.
So really high.
Extremely high, correct. The neat thing about it is I'm able to go down with a particular lender that we have. I can go all the way down to 630 with 1% down.
630, I think that's your pretty common man right there,
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
Nothing too
absolutely.
special.
Middle of the road. Yep, absolutely. So the neat thing about the 1% down program, and a caveat to it, is that the buyers are going to have to spend about an hour or so online taking a Homebuyer's educational counseling class.
This sounds like a good way for them to get a cheaper monthly payment then.
Hands down.
Okay.
No problem.
Good to know.
Yep.
But here's the deal. While your credit score is crucial, so is your work history. Make sure you have 2 years of consistent employment. Now, if you just switch jobs, but you went from W-2 employee to W-2 employee on your taxes with no breaks or just a short break to find a new job, you'll be fine. Your 2 years is okay. However, if you switch from W-2 to 1099 independent contractor, your 2 years will reset. Having a strong employment record shows lenders that you're trusty, that you're reliable, and more likely to repay them. So it's a win-win situation.
I've got a couple of unique programs right now that specifically are catering to your self-employed buyer. So your income can kind of fluctuate a little bit. Usually, self-employed people are going to have a fair amount of write-offs.
Right.
So sometimes in that case, the traditional way of approving somebody with the underwriting perspective, I've got something that can kind of solve that problem. I have a bank statement loan. So that bank statement loan can run for a period of 12 months or 24 months. And their tax returns, in fact, don't even really get looked at all by the underwriter. They come up with an income level based on a period of 12 months or 24 months, just looking at this self-employed buyer's bank statements.
That seems pretty unique.
It is extremely unique, yes, but it's specific to self-employed people.
Why don't more people know about this? Is it pretty new?
No, believe it or not, the program has been around for quite some time, but you need a mortgage broker. Traditionally, like me at Brass Lending, you're gonna need that mortgage broker to be able to shop that product for you and find the best lender in the market that in fact offers that self-employed buyer bank statement program.
And if you want to get in touch with Josh, make sure you contact me or him. All of our information is down below. However, let's be real. Not all loans are created equal. FHA loans are indeed fantastic, but they tend to come with their own restrictions. Potentially higher mortgage rates, stricter property inspection, and limitations on property types. You won't be able to go in and just buy any home that you see. While VA loans, as Josh mentioned, are specific for our veterans. If you didn't serve in the military, they're not going to apply to you. They have their own very strict inspection. USDA loans, also known as rural development loans, may be sweet with their 0% down, but you're not getting that sweet condo in Royal Oak, that's for sure. There are too many misconceptions about home ownership that are holding you back. The path to owning your dream home is more accessible than you ever thought possible.
Whether it be conventional, VA, FHA, or USDA, I'm here to help you find that path to your brand new home.
Now, if you found this information helpful, be sure to leave this video a like, subscribe to our channel, and leave a question in the comments below.
Again, thank you. My name is Josh Jardin, Senior Loan Originator, Brass Lending here in Birmingham, Michigan.
And this has been Nolan from HomeSalesTV.com. If you're looking to buy or sell any real estate in Michigan, contact me and Josh through our links in the description below. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next video.